It's the most ironical thing there is that the world is filled with billions of people and we are all feeling lonely. We are a crowd of lonely people. And we try to fill the sense of loneliness, purposelessness, emptiness with different things. And we try to fight it. We try to look for meaning inside it. Some people believe that, okay, this life is so miserable and the life after this is going to be fun. So they do, good acts, what they feel are virtuous. And somehow every one of us tries to cope with this sense of loneliness either in their own unique way or in a collective way, by signing up with something or the other, or by sex, or by watching films, entertainment. But very few of us go into the question of what exactly loneliness is and how have I become this lonely person. We never question that how did this loneliness come into being? Is this something natural? Because we are going through a continuity, a conditioned continuity in such a way that we never question what is happening. We never see the process of what is happening, but we instantly want to find a solution for it and escape from it. So if I ask you a question, what makes us lonely? What would come to your mind? The first thing that I can think of when I imagine a lonely person is just being alone on an island and trying to make that island sort of livable, sort of beautiful, sort of meaningful. But if I go into the question of what has made me a lonely person, so the first requisite to make a lonely person is the idea of me as something or someone. So if I asked you right now that, would you want a luxury car? Would you want a beautiful partner? Would you want fame? And would you want to be called a good person? Would you want respect? You would say yes. Most of us would say yes to all of that. And since childhood, we are fed this dream of getting all of this, the world and everything in it. And we feel it's the most natural thing to do, to want all of this. We are conditioned, hypnotized into believing that all these things are the right thing to do. What is the color of your Bugatti? I really don't care what is the color of anybody's car, because I was never interested in cars. So this fact that so many people are crazy for cars is very confusing for a person like me. But for the person who is really passionate about cars, I would be the fool. And the same if I have some obsession inside me which others don't. But the point I'm trying to make here is that all these things which are told to us that are the purpose of our lives, that are necessary for our lives, that are necessary to be a respectful human being, to have some dignity, create a certain lust, desire inside of us, a certain sort of lack inside of us. So from the time when we are a child, we are given these ideas, and depending on what is our chemical makeup and our environment, we create a sort of a desire list. We have a bundle of desires inside of us which we are looking for to manifest. And the stronger people, of course, they get the creamiest part of the pie, and the rest perhaps live a mediocre lives, and the truthful ones really are shocked as to like what kind of a life this is. But if inside me I have these desires which are meant only for this body, this particular body, this is the center of all those desires, and here is the car, here is the house, here is the beautiful partner, and I'm not saying one must not have all of this, but if all of this is something which I'm constantly obsessed about, constantly chasing, then I am against you, because you too are running in that race. And without our knowledge, without our knowing, we are set against each other in this society to chase, to achieve, to get, to acquire. So as long as I have these set of personal obsessions that I want this for myself, for this particular body which I'm experiencing, of course I'm going to be lonely. I don't know why it is so surprising for people that we are lonely. Because if I have created my own unique set of possessions which belong only to me, and I'm hoarding them, not for the sake of practicality, but inside me I'm holding on to them, even a partner, then slowly I am creating, walls around myself. And sometimes, I'm peeping outside that wall from the window and saying, hello, how are things with you? Things are good with me. And, closing the window again. Not letting anyone inside, because letting someone inside would mean sharing what I have, what I think I have. So as I see it, loneliness is this constant enforcement of the feeling of I, the sense of I on our consciousness, on our presence. So right now I have a presence, but if on that presence I am obsessed about what I want for this body, this particular body, or maybe, just my family and maybe one or two pets, that creates myself. So most of the people are happy being this less lonely, just to have a family, just to have a couple of pets, and calling them your own self. A few people go further. They say, okay, this is my city. And a few people go further enough to say, okay, this is my nation against your nation. This is my religion against your religion. But it is just like, making your island bigger. But deep inside it's an island, it's not freedom. You can just run a bit more than a person who is miserly. You are a bit maybe less of a miser than a person who is just thinking for himself or herself all the time. So the question we are asking here is that, is this the perpetual destiny of human life? That we can just expand in quantity? Or is there really a possibility that I can experience freedom from this sense of loneliness? If you explore yourself a bit more, if you have a bit of courage or a bit of passion, interest in this, one can learn more about this. Because to learn something means to forget what we already know. And to learn something totally different from being lonely means to let go of this, miserly self, miserable self that I have. But that's my only thing, How can I let go of it? So the question is that if one can really want to explore if there's something more than experiencing without this subject-object relationship. Subject-object meaning that I'm the subject and the car I want, the partner I want, the situations I want, the respect I want. These are all the objects that I want. This is creating the duality all the time inside of me and mine, me and you. This is the division. And to experience something which is beyond this means to be in a state of not knowing, to be in a state of a child, like a innocent consciousness which does not really know anything, because I feel deep inside nobody knows anything. We just have thoughts and beliefs.